Welcome. In front of me I have the XIAOMI 15T Pro, and today I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the device, its specifications, and just my general opinion about the phone itself. So let's get straight to this. We do have two pull tabs right here at the back, or pull tabs, sorry, just seals more like, and cutting them out, get into the box, and in here we have Type A to Type C charging cable, energy rating sticker, instruction, and a gray case. Oh, and also some ejectol. And then here we get the phone itself. Well, it has a chunkers. And under that there's nothing there, it's just glued, and there's a little bit of those marbles to soak up moisture. Now right here I actually have pretty decent spec sheet written down, but I got my own. So let's get to it. Starting off with the display, which you can see right now, we are looking at a 6.83 inches of display, running a resolution of 1280 by 2772 pixels, AMOLED display, 144 Hz refresh rate, whopping 3840 Hz pull rate, and sorry for that, and Dolby Vision support, HDR10+ support, and a peak brightness of 3200 nits. Now XIAOMI didn't skimp out on any kind of certification, so props for that. It's always nice to see. And moving on into the cameras at the back, we have what looks to be a triple camera setup with, heck knows what that is. It's not a camera, definitely. So on paper we have dual 50 megapixel cameras, one being 1.6 aperture, 23mm wide lens, which I presume will be this one right here. Then we got another 50 megapixel 3.0 aperture, 115mm periscope telephoto. So that's going to be the bottom one here. And lastly, we got 12 megapixel 2.2 aperture, 15mm 120 degree ultra wide lens. So this one right here. Now with those cameras, you can record videos up to 8K at 30 frames per second. 4K gets you up to 120, though I believe that's slow motion. And then 1080p gets you all the way to 960 frames per second. That's definitely slow motion. And obviously the 60 normal recording. We also have Rec 2020, HDR10+ for recording, 10-bit, so everything that you want from your recordings. And then if we flip it to the front, we have a selfie, which is a relatively small hole punch, all things considered. And that houses a whopping 32 megapixel, 2.2 aperture, 21mm wide sensor that does 4K 30 and 1080p 60. So again, pretty decent camera right here as well, at least on paper. So moving on into the internals, it looks like that's kind of where XIAOMI took a little bit of a step back, considering it's a kind of a Chinese device. So we have 5500 mAh battery. Now this is a massive device, like it's a brick. So the reason I'm pointing that out is because for such a brick like this one, usually you would see like 6000 mAh battery, and checking out, they are not using the silicon carbon battery, which explains why this is only a 5500 mAh battery instead of like 6 to nearly 7000 that other devices would have. This size right here is, I believe, what the new XIAOMI, the 16, is it? Let me quickly check. No. Sorry, 17. Right, they skipped a version just so they can match Apple. So we have 17, and let me quickly check all of them just so you can see. So the 17 is 6.3 inches. Yeah, so it's smaller than this one and packs a 7000 and it packs a 7,000 milliampere battery. So obviously the newer Xiaomi's, even the lowest end of their lineup, packs a pretty decent specs. So here we do get a drop down in terms of battery. First of all, charging speed is still really good. So 90 watts of wired charging and 50 watts of wireless charging. Now this completely blasts things like Samsung out of the water, just blows their booty cheeks completely wide. So it's not even like, you can't really compare these two. It seems like one is playing chess, the other one checker when it comes down to what they're including in their devices, like if this was a game. So this one, in terms of battery, charging speeds and all that stuff, just really good. We also have a 12 gigabytes of RAM, which again is pretty decent, and Dimensity 9400 Plus as a processor. Now this will be a cheaper processor compared to like the flagship devices, but it's still not a slouch. This processor is still very capable of performing really good, and I'm gonna quickly check how good. I don't exactly remember if this is the one. I'm kind of, sometimes, you know, I'm old, I get confused by certain processors, their numbers and all that stuff. Yeah, so this is honestly equivalent to Snapdragon 8 Elite, surprisingly. Now this is from nanoreviews.net where I'm getting this information, but in terms of benchmarks, in terms of gaming performance, the 8 Elite is just a tiny bit better, but all in all they're almost identical in terms of performance. Not much of a difference. And 2 to 10 benchmarks, Snapdragon 8 Elite has only a 6% lead with a score of 2,719,964. So basically 2,700,000, while the Dimensity gets 2,565,429. So 2.5 anyway. So not much of a difference, and this kind of close score just follows through to Geekbench as well, though Snapdragon does have a 10% lead here with a 3,155 score compared to the 2,874 of the Dimensity. Oh right, I also didn't mention this. This is for the Dimensity 9400, not the Plus. So actually this might be a faster processor than the 8 Elite, which honestly not bad at all. So right here we're getting a pretty fast device. Now continuing on, we have, like I mentioned, 12 gigabytes of RAM. There is no expandable storage, and the device comes with 256 gigabytes of storage as the lowest end, being UFS 4.1, which means that it's fast. But you can spec it up to 1 terabyte of storage, so you can have a decent amount of space on this phone. Now, all that will run you about 650 euros. And that's, let me quickly check, just double check. So it's like $700, I think. Let's see. So 3,100. So $850 right now at the current exchange rate. Now, typically, this probably would have been a little bit cheaper, but dollar isn't doing too well, so the exchange rates are a little bit wonky right now. So I assume this might be going for like in either $799 or something like $750 probably in the US, though this is just speculation right here. For me, where I'm from, it is about 25% cheaper than typical flagships, like for instance Samsung, something like this, which typically would cost about $1,000, right? You know, maybe not this one. This one was actually cheaper, so typically, like maybe I think Pluses go for $1,000, so that would be equivalent of a normal flagship, right? So this is coming under that by 25%, what normal prices are for flagships, which is very good. Now, the reason I'm kind of going about this in a weird way, like giving you percentages, is because, like I said, the exchange rate right now is weird. I'm in Poland, so my prices might not translate very well to what you need to pay for this device. So where I am from, this right now is a very powerful, very good phone for a reasonable price, I would say. So with that out of the way, there's not much more to say. It's a great phone. If you're looking for a powerhouse of a device, this obviously delivers. It also looks pretty modern with very minimal bezels, which I actually didn't talk about now that I think about it. So let's quickly glance over that. We have 90.4% screen to body ratio and 441 pixels per inch with a Corning Gorilla Glass 7i MOSH level 6. And it's also coming with its own plastic screen protector pre-applied, which you can kind of see right here. So that is pretty good. Feels very solid in hand, kind of like a brick though. So it is a bit heavy, but it is also a big device. The camera bump right here is also logical, I would say. Not like it's not what Apple has, where it's a plateau. It looks like a little staircase that you can step on to gain several inches of height. So this is a normal camera bump, one that doesn't feel like someone glued a jar lid to your device. So that's pretty good. And also it comes with a screen protector, what am I saying, with a phone case in the box. So yeah, pretty sweet package right here. So that's about it. Great phone. Not really much I can recommend other than this, as it is a flagship phone that comes at a more reasonable price. So if you're looking for the highest performance, this is basically up there, and not much more I can recommend than this. So anyway, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.